What up, YouTube? Here with a post-fight video of the Fulton versus Naoya Inoue fight. Now, before I give y'all the summary of what happened in the fight, I'm going to tell y'all the results first. Naoya Inoue was able to win this fight via 8th round knockout. Now, he is a new unified WBC, WBO Super Bantamweight champion. He's won titles in 4 different weight classes now. And on my pound-for-pound rankings, this makes Naoya Inoue the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And that ranking can change after what happens this Saturday between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. However, as I said, currently speaking right now, Naoya Inoue is the best fighter in the world. And for him to win this fight the way he did, in the fashion the way he won this fight, it was a spectacular performance. It was definitely a pound-for-pound king performance by Naoya Inoue. And Naoya Inoue, he is a former undisputed bantamweight champion. He fought all the competition he could at bantamweight, won the tournament, became undisputed. I did say in my preview video to this fight that I would have liked to see him fight Casemiro, who he never fought at bantamweight, and Casemiro never lost his WBO bantamweight title, and he fought Paul Butler to win the undisputed bantamweight title. And Paul Butler, with all due respect, isn't on the same level as Casemiro. And the other fighter that I would have liked to see Inoue defend his title against at bantamweight was Guillermo Regendao, because I think that style that Guillermo Regendao fights in is a difficult style for any fighter to fight against, and that would have been a tough test for Naoya Inoue. Nonetheless, though, he took on the toughest challenge, the most recognizable fighter at Super Bantamweight in his debut fight at Super Bantamweight, the only unified Super Bantamweight champion at that weight class, and he knocked him out in the 8th round. And this was a dominant performance by Naoya Inoue. I had the fight score prior to the knockout 6-1 in favor of Naoya Inoue. I had the fight score 69-64 in favor of Naoya Inoue. And how the fight went, Naoya Inoue showed good display of fundamental improvement. He's more known for his aggressive style and his work rate and his volume of punches and his knockout style, which is fan-friendly. And Naoya Inoue, his technical ability is very underrated. And every fight, he seems to show improvement, and he's making a lot of good adjustments when it comes to his ability to perform at a high level when it comes to the technical side of this game, boxing. And Naoya Inoue, his strong element, apart from, as I said, his power, his come forward style, his aggressiveness, and his ability to cut off the ring, and that goes to show that he is a high-skilled fighter when it comes to ring generalship as well. Another, as I said, as I was going to say, is that he is very good at level changing. He goes downstairs and upstairs, and he does a very good job at mixing up his punches, and he is relentless to find his target when it comes to landing his shots, and he puts combinations very well together. His punches, the way he puts them together, is very fluid. And Naoya Inoue, his in-ring IQ is very high as well. He's got very good ring awareness. He is very good at telegraphing his opponent's punches, and he's very good at reading range as well. And he definitely showed that in this fight versus Fulton. And another part of Naoya Inoue's strong points that is highly underrated is his ability to counterpunch and time his opponents and be able to read his opponent's next moves. And Naoya Inoue is a come forward fighter. He doesn't move laterally, nor does he fight off his back foot. And to make up for that, he likes to catch his opponent throwing shots, and he would counter it with his power punches, and he is very accurate when it comes to countering his opponents, and he is very good, as I said, at reading range. And when his opponents throw their shots, he gets out of the way and counters them with his power punches and with the power that Naoya Inoue carries in his hands. And when he catches his opponents with a very sharp counter shot, then that's when his opponents backs off, and they would have to regroup and readjust and put themselves in a better footing position. And then that's when Naoya Inoue gathers breathing room and space for him to regroup and readjust, and Naoya Inoue to launch his attacks yet again and fight the style of a fight that he wants the fight to be fought at. And I did say in my preview video that Naoya Inoue will want to cut off the ring versus Stephen Fulton, and I did say Stephen Fulton will want to have his back not against the corner and not against the ropes. This fight, for majority of it, Stephen Fulton did a good job at avoiding having his back against the ropes and back against the corner and being trapped in one spot for Naoya Inoue to launch his attacks and throw relentless combos against them. This fight was being fought throughout majority of the time in the center of the ring, which is the place where Stephen Fulton would have liked the fight to be contested at. However, Naoya Inoue, his speed is slept on as well, is underrated, because Naoya Inoue proved in this fight that he is the faster fighter on his foot and as well as hand speed as well. He was able to catch Stephen Fulton's rhythm, he was able to keep up with Stephen Fulton's speed, and he was able to prove that he can catch up to Stephen Fulton. And matter of fact, he showed that in this fight that he's faster on his feet than Stephen Fulton was. And that's how he was able to dominate this fight and dictate the pace of this fight, with him being the faster fighter on his feet. And he had no problem having this fight being fought in the center of the ring, and he caught the movement of Stephen Fulton throughout majority of this fight. And Stephen Fulton, he is a defensive fighter. He is a counter puncher. He had a hard time catching Naoya Inoue and countering Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue, that goes to show, as I said, the fact about how Naoya Inoue is the faster fighter. And he was able to catch Stephen Fulton midway when Stephen Fulton will want to regroup and readjust and put himself in a better position to have him focus again and have him be able to throw shots and be able to have the fight being fought at a competitive level. And Naoya Inoue, his high work rate, his volume of punches, and his relentless come forward aggressive style was catching up to Stephen Fulton. And he didn't give Stephen Fulton any breathing space, any room for him to gather himself together. And that plan worked very well for Naoya Inoue. And Stephen Fulton, he couldn't get in his rhythm. Stephen Fulton, he couldn't have any space to get away, and he couldn't have this fight being fought at the range that he wanted the fight to be fought at. And he couldn't have any space to throw the punches that he would have liked to land it to have Naoya Inoue back off of him. And Stephen Fulton, I guess he respected the power of Naoya Inoue, hence why he was very punch shy in this fight, and he couldn't let his shots go because it being no space, and Naoya Inoue kept coming at him, and Naoya Inoue's activity and his work rate was too much for Stephen Fulton. And then the only round that I had scored in favor of Stephen Fulton was the 7th round, which was the round right before he had got knocked out. And he caught Naoya Inoue with a good right hand. However, Naoya Inoue reacted very well to it and gathered himself together. And Naoya Inoue was able to regroup and come forward and cut off the ring versus Stephen Fulton. And then early in the 8th round, he caught Stephen Fulton with a devastating right hand. And then Stephen Fulton was staggered by that shot. And then Naoya Inoue lunged at him with his signature left hook. And then that floored Stephen Fulton. And Stephen Fulton, he did get up to answer the 10 count. However, you could tell that he did not recover from that first knockdown. And then Naoya Inoue was able to trap him against a corner and throw combinations of punches. And that dropped Stephen Fulton yet again. And then that called the referee to step in and call a halt to the bout. And Naoya Inoue caught Stephen Fulton with a jab to the body, and that was more of a bait of a punch from Naoya Inoue to set up a overhand right hand to catch him upstairs. And then that staggered Stephen Fulton with the powerful punches, the power that Naoya Inoue carries in his hands. And then he caught him with a left hook that floored him while Stephen Fulton was trying to step back, and that was him going towards the ropes. And then Naoya Inoue is a good closer, and he finished the fight in a very emphatic fashion. And this was definitely a good statement to make in his debut fight versus the most recognizable fighter, the only unified champion, as I mentioned before, at Super Bantamweight. Very impressive performance by Naoya Inoue. And another element of Naoya Inoue that is very strong that people don't tend to give him credit for is the power that he carries in his jab. He is very good at lunging with that power jab to find his mark, to close that gap, and to have the range be read for him to know what range for the fight to be fought at. He's very good at reading range and setting up the offense that he wants with that jab. That is a offense finder for Naoya Inoue, and he utilizes that punch very well to his advantage, as shown in this fight and in prior fights as well. And now Naoya Inoue is the only unified champion at Super Bantamweight, and I think the most intriguing fight next for Naoya Inoue would be versus Brandon Figueroa, who had a Fight of the Year candidate versus Stephen Fulton. And unlike this fight versus Naoya Inoue, Stephen Fulton was actually able to compete with Brandon Figueroa and go blow for blow with him and exchange shot for shot with him and go the whole 12 rounds. And they went the distance to fight the candidate for the Fight of the Year for last year. Now, Brandon Figueroa did move up to featherweight, and he had a successful debut versus a former featherweight champion, Mark Nixayo, and I'm sure that he wants to contend for a title at featherweight. Now, I don't know if he wants that big money fight versus Naoya Inoue and step back down to Super Bantamweight instead of continue competing at featherweight. Now, as I said, stylistically speaking, Naoya Inoue versus Brandon Figueroa would be a Fight of the Year candidate. That is a fight that boxing fans would definitely want to tap into, because that fight right there, stylistically speaking, as I said, would make for a possible better fight than what we saw with Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa. And I don't know if it's a power difference. I did say in my preview video leading up to this fight that Naoya Inoue would carry the same power that he did at all the other weight classes that he's fought at previously before stepping up to Super Bantamweight, and he definitely proved that by scoring this knockout win. And I don't know if Brandon Figueroa doesn't possess the same power in his hands as Naoya Inoue. Maybe that's the reason why Stephen Fulton wasn't able to catch Naoya Inoue with the counter punches and have this fight be more competitive as he did versus Brendan Figueroa. Now, I don't know if Naoya Inoue, if he doesn't get that marquee fight versus Brendan Figueroa, then I don't know if he's going to go for another unification title bout versus the other champions remaining as Super Bantamweight. And the only other champion remaining at Super Bantamweight is Marlon Tapales. He is a veteran at that weight class. He's not undefeated, nor is he as recognizable as Stephen Fulton. That's why I said for his debut fight at Super Bantamweight, Naoya Inoue fighting the best fighter and the most recognizable fighter, an undefeated champion like Stephen Fulton, it is a very, very brave move on the part of Naoya Inoue, and this definitely puts him as the best fighter at Super Bantamweight and as well as the best fighter currently pound for pound in the whole sport of boxing. And I think the easier fight for Naoya Inoue to have next would be versus the only other champion at Super Bantamweight, and the only other remaining champion at Super Bantamweight, as I said, is Tapales, and that would make Naoya Inoue a two-division undisputed champion. He was an undisputed champion at Bantamweight, and he became undisputed champion when he beat Paul Butler, and then now he's a unified Super Bantamweight champion. And if he beats Tapales, if he gets that fight next versus, as I said, the only remaining champion at Super Bantamweight, that would yet again make him a undisputed Super Bantamweight champion. Now that is an impressive resume right there on Naoya Inoue's part, and I'm sure Naoya Inoue would definitely like to become a two-division undisputed champion, and he's currently undefeated as well, and that would be more of a legacy fight than more of a difficult fight for Naoya Inoue, and that would definitely add to his continuing great career as a great in the sport right now. And there's also other fighters at Super Bantamweight that he could have an intriguing fight versus, and that would be versus a veteran at Super Bantamweight like Luis Neri. And those are, I guess, the fights that Naoya Inoue can have next, marketably speaking, other than if he wants to go for becoming yet again undisputed champion at another weight class, this time at Super Bantamweight. As I said, a brilliant performance by Naoya Inoue, and you guys let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comments, and subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And that does it for this post-fight video. I'm out of here, y'all, and peace.